Hi everyone, it's Thursday night, and I want to share a message. Um, Not exactly sure why, but I guess I just feel the need to. So, anyway, so tonight I was having my taxes done, and needless to say, didn't quite go as well as I'd hoped or I planned for. A pretty large tax bill. And it really hit me hard, and I got really angry, not in the office, but when I got out. Because I'd taken a lot of steps this year to be ready and prepared for my doing my 2020 taxes. And it's a long history. Needless to say, the last couple of years I've been late, and paid a penalty, obviously, but that wasn't the, but just, it's realizing in the last 3 years into four after leaving one company, Verizon, um, and it wasn't by choice, as some of you know. I was retirement eligible, but I didn't retire on my own at that point. It was called a layoff, and it happened to thousands of people at the company, and it is what it is. And for many reasons, it was a good thing because I was ready to leave and I was actually looking to leave, but on my own terms. But neither here nor there. But it just changed things financially for us. And so it's been an adjustment the last few years. And I won't go into the gory details, but I've had to use funds from my retirement, and I took the steps because that's what it's for when you need it. But it can involve a tax penalty. So long and short, tonight came out of the H&R Block office not happy, and just upset and angry. And when it comes to finances, it's always a kind of a sore spot with me. Sensitive spot. I don't feel like I'm the financial guru I should be. So when things don't go quite right, I immediately start to do the self-blame. I come from a Catholic background, so the self-crucifixion, the whole bit. Really angry, very upset, beating myself up. Called Allison, and of course I start screaming and all upset. Not screaming at her, but of course I'm screaming because when I'm upset, everyone needs to be upset with me. Not the way it's supposed to be, but unfortunately sometimes that's how I am. Not very Kal-El right like at all. Anyway, so I had to wait. I couldn't come right home, which is probably a good thing. But Sydney was working, so I had to wait to get her, and it was a significant wait. And so I'm sitting in the car waiting at her place, and just kind of beating myself up and thinking about everything going on, and it starts my thoughts churning about the last 3 or 4 years and the whole bit, and of course I'm scrolling through Facebook because I didn't have a lot else to do while I'm waiting, and I noticed this post from someone I knew of, never met, and was not a person that I'd even chatted with or connected with a lot on Facebook, other than looking at their posts. And this is a guy who's an actor and a very larger than life guy, and I forget how, but because he did cosplay, that's how I discovered him on Facebook. Um, and he's a very commanding, very tall, muscular guy, and did great cosplay of Superman or what have you, and met a lovely woman, and they did cosplay together, and they're now married, and always very entertaining posts between his wife and him. But I hadn't really seen a lot of their posts in the last year or so, and anyway, I was just scrolling through, and I noticed the name, and I said, oh, so and so, and but then I noticed there was a message on the page and a link to a YouTube video, and it referenced brain tumor. And with everything going on, so I was like, I'll just watch it. I didn't really know what it was about. And then you're thinking, well, what is this? Is this real? Is this a joke? What have you? Anyway, so I click on the video, and it's him, and basically telling his followers that sounds like recently was diagnosed very kind of out of nowhere with this brain tumor. And how his reaction and trying to tell his wife and going through all, I can only imagine, all the things you think. And I can sort of relate, because when Allison had breast cancer, you think about those things, even though the survival rate for breast cancer, but still, you never know. And another very close family member, and I will not mention any details other than as a very close family member who also was faced with a very serious, life-threatening disease. And both that family member and my wife obviously survived, and but just that going from everyday struggles to huge, life-threatening, life-changing struggles. And so that struck me watching this video from this man, and it was a very honest, poignant, but he also had a message about, with all the stuff that's been going on with COVID and the effect it's had on so many of us who can't see family or friends. Now, I don't have a huge circle of friends. Most of my friends are my family, other than my wife, who's my best friend, and a handful of people that I don't get to see very often, but just even immediate family, and how that's been so difficult. And how a lot of times, and when we don't connect with people, we feel badly. And I guess one of his messages was that we don't know what giants, I think he said, people are battling or facing. And it just made me remember or realize yet again, especially when my wife was ill and then my family member was ill, and thinking, for those moments, you suddenly think, well, with everything you worry about and complain about, in those moments when life can become so fragile, all those things kind of lose, not complete importance, but they're minimized, aren't they? And I was thinking that tonight particularly about this man's struggle and that of his family, and my own overreaction to my crisis with my taxes. And it's it's not fun, and it's not something I am thrilled about, but I can take care of it. It's not the end of the world. It's not life or death. And I guess this gentleman tonight, with his very honest, poignant, real video, made me realize that. And it's so easy to lose sight of what we have versus what we don't have. And I'm so guilty of that. It's particularly, sometimes I'll say to my wife, I just wish something were easy. I wish my job was easy. I wish I weren't doing project management anymore because I'm tired of it. More importantly, I wish our son didn't have his autism. I wish he didn't have his challenges. I wish he were normal. And I know that's not politically correct, but typical, whatever. You know what I mean. I just want him doing the things that I see other people around me doing. But just because those people are doing those things doesn't mean they don't have challenges. And sometimes we lose sight of that. I definitely lose sight of that. So, my thanks to this man who was so honest and candid, and obviously is facing a huge challenge, and hopefully things will work out. It sounds like with his treatment, he has a really good chance, and my hopes and prayers are really out there for this man and his wife and family and all those friends who know him beside Facebook posts, or even if they're, close friends through Facebook. I can't claim to be, and I would never do that. But as a fellow human being, my thoughts and my prayers go out to you, sir, and your family, and my gratitude for making this person, this realize, and maybe at least make me take a deep breath and say, okay, I can manage my financial mess. And more importantly, I can try to keep that in mind with my own son. Because sometimes I really do struggle with the envy about typical people his age and wish he were typical, but there's always something else. So thanks for listening. I hope you all stay safe. I hope this message helped. That gentleman's message really helped me tonight realize some things. God bless and thanks. Good night.